Christian McCullum, PlayAction Pod, back with another episode as we dive into, the top teams around the country as we're in March here. And right now we're going to look at the Houston Cougars. We got Kris Gardner from the Houston Roundball Review. Chris, thanks a lot for joining us.
My pleasure, Christian, man. Thanks for reaching out to me. Glad to do it.
Yeah, so, Houston, they've obviously, really been kind of taking a huge step forward here in the world of college basketball the past few years. Made it to the Final Four last year. What were the expectations coming into this season after losing a few key pieces off that Final Four team last year?
They weren't expected to get back to the Final Four. This year's team was going to be more athletic, and everybody expected that. Probably even a little bit deeper than a Final Four team, but definitely more athletic. And things changed when Marcus Sasser and Jamar Mark were lost for the season due to injuries/surgeries. So that kind of changed expectations a little bit. A lot of folks had gloom and doom when those two guys were lost for the season. And gloom and doom meant, to some people, not even going to the tournament, which I thought that was out of the question because of Kelvin Sampson and what he's done as a coach. But I think this team can still get to the Sweet 16. They're talented. They're not deep in the backcourt, but they are good enough to get it done defensively and to depth up front.
Okay. What have they done to overcome losing those two guys on top of the guys they lost in the offseason?
More front court oriented, going down to a big man, Josh Carlton, a transfer from UConn, and relying on Fabian White as he's the leader, he's a galvanizer for the team. His leadership skills has really developed since his time as a freshman a few years ago, now being a graduate senior on this year's team. They've really spent more time beating teams in the paint. And they're not a great perimeter shooting team. They struggle to make shots consistently from deep. But the philosophy is just shoot it and we'll go get it. And then let's score that way. So that's what they do.
Okay. You mentioned Kelvin Sampson, obviously a Hall of Fame caliber coach. What is his impact overall been on the program since he got there and on this team specifically?
Oh, massive impact. When he took the job, before he took the job, he told the administration, you have to commit to basketball, commit to being a successful basketball program. And that meant investing in facilities, investing in coaches, the whole bit, if you want to be a big time program. So that was the start of it. And then he just built this program, the players, staff over the years. Everything has grown and improved. The fan support has improved. I've been covering this team for almost 30 years now. And before he arrived, the fan support, he joked about it, I think, a few days ago on a call that the band took up probably 30% of the attendance some of the games, in that early time when he was first at U of H. And now it's sold out crowds at home games all the time now. So he's a big part of that success with fan support, donors, all those things too. And the on-court success plays a big part in that.
Okay. It seems like they've been really consistent this season. I know they had the back-to-back losses in the middle of the season, but they've been taking care of business since. What do you want to see from them, as the regular season and conference tournament, closes to know that they're really hitting their stride when it matters most?
Defense. They have to be great defensively. And I think 3 of their 4 losses, they've given up 80 points or more. And they can't do that. They don't have the depth anymore to match firepower with teams. They have to keep the pace slow and just control the pace of the game and get it done defensively, and they can stay in games that way. Defense is their calling card. Defense and rebounding. They do those things, they'll be okay.
Okay. Obviously, in conference, a lot of these teams know each other, and anything can happen in the conference tournament. But as we look forward to March Madness, what's kind of like a generic matchup that wouldn't be great for Houston in that first weekend where they could get picked off?
Teams that play fast and teams that have great guards, great backcourt, and depth in the backcourt. That's going to give them a problem. Like I said, the Cougs cannot play fast 40 minutes. They can do it in spurts, but to beat them, if you got a team that's deep in the backcourt and can force tempo and play fast for the full game, they're going to struggle.
Conversely, I know you said you think they can make the Sweet 16, and making the Sweet 16 be great, but just take a couple extra wins there to get back to the Final Four, even if it's just kind of unexpected. What's kind of like a generic matchup, maybe if they make it to that second weekend, that could help them exceed their own expectations?
teams that probably aren't athletic on the wings and probably don't have a lot of height / size up front. Because if you can't keep U of H off the boards, you can't beat them. You're going to struggle to beat them because they are going to find a way. Like I said, they're going to miss a lot of shots, but they can rebound a lot of those shots too. If they can rebound half their misses, then that's what they want to do. So if you're not a great defense rebounding team, you are going to struggle to beat the Houston Cougars.
Okay. Kris, thanks a lot. We really appreciate it, man. If you guys, to get your learn about Houston Cougars, go to the Houston Roundball Review. Check them out at the HR Review on Twitter. Kris, thanks a lot. We'll be following your coverage throughout the month of March.
Thank you, Christian. Take care, man.